Hey guys, welcome back to the Reed Homestead. Patrick again. Today we're waterproofing a 8-man tent. It's an Aspen Grove Slumberjack. It sleeps 8. So it's got 2 side cabins and then a main foyer, kind of like a dome shape with 2 sides. Pretty good tent. We had it last year. I realized in a rainstorm, it rained for like 2 or 3 days. We had these small leaks where the seams were kind of stretched. I had that tent really taut, and we had one small leak in the right hand cabin just at the seam, and then there was another one in the corner on the left hand side, and it was basically the seams on the tent. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got, see what we can do to correct it. Here it is. This is the outer shell. So this is what you put over. The inner shell is, the bottom is of course a bathtub. It's got a vestibule mat, like a welcome mat type thing. And then it's got 2 side cabins over here. This is the roof for one side. There's the roof for the other side. And then, as you can see, let's zoom in a little bit. These are the seams. They do have, it looks like kind of cheap Scotch tape lining them, as you can see right here. Let me get out of the sun. So, kind of see that Scotch tape. But what happens is the thread is kind of thin, and in certain areas it'll pull apart, or you can see where it's starting to, the thread gets pulled. So what I'm going to do is treat the seams starting in the middle, working my way out. Treat the seams, focusing right here in the middle, okay? And we're going to work our way. This is the vestibule. It comes with a door, you can see. Hang on, zoom out a little. You can see here's the door. It's basically roof that basically pops up. You could stake that in to have like a little tarp. So we're going to start in the middle. Treat these with the same that we did our tarp with, which is basically Flex Seal. This is the white, so you can get a can of this for 15 bucks. I am assuming that I'll have enough to at least get the seams, and with any left over I'll go around the outside. So I'm going to start in the middle right here, start in the middle, and then work my way to the outside. With any that's left, I'll go around the outside seam where the yellow is here, okay? Because some of that thread is pretty thin. So if I have some left, that's what I'll focus on. And then I do have some leftover paste that I'll probably do the inner part of the tent, the shell, inner shell with the bathtub. I'll use whatever paste we have left and treat some of that area, the seams and everything. So that's what you want to focus on. It's a little windy, not too bad. 75 degrees out, so we should be able to get this done pretty quickly. One sec. So just real quick, this is my tent supply or tent repair kit. Basically I keep, this is 7mm. You can get, I bought this on eBay. They're all over the place, of course. But this is the bungee cord, OD green bungee, 7mm. I think I got about 150 feet of that for 15 or 20 bucks. Tent stake bag. Basically I staked out the outer shell in order to, there's some extra bungee. We got some paracord. Okay, OD green, orange. Orange is good to have so you can see where you're staking out your poles. So basically it's a tent repair kit. You know, you'll have some nylon patching in there. I had to do some repairs to the tarp because I brought it, had to bring it inside because it did rain the other night when I was finishing repairing the tarp, the ripstop tarp on the previous video. Brought it into the garage to hang on the wall and put a heater on it. I brought it out the next day. It was sunny, and of course I went out to the woods to chainsaw some logs, and Bo grabbed the tarp and ripped it apart. He put 3 or 4 holes in it. So I just used on one side, instead of going to the store and looking for nylon patch repairs, I used Gorilla Tape, black Gorilla Tape. And then what I'm going to do is go over that Gorilla Tape with some more Flex Seal and then treat the inside of those tears. So that's how I'm going to repair that. So, okay. This you're going to have to shake up for a couple of minutes, okay? So it becomes thin and it won't come out in a goopy mess. We're just going to start right here in the middle. And I'm going to work myself to the sides where the cabins are, okay? Paying careful attention to these seams. You want to try to get this as taut as you can, okay? So this is the front vestibule, basically the foyer. This is the doorway, okay? Any insects or bugs or grass you can get rid of. We'll start here and just work our way over, okay? So you can see most of the tape is sticking on there pretty good, but like I said, the thread is kind of thin and the tape is just like Scotch tape. So you're just gonna put a good layer right on there, leading up to the vestibule. Okay, there you go. That's it. That's all you need to do. This dries in about, I'm going to get that center a little better. It dries in about 2 hours to spray. So it's pretty user friendly all the way up. Here you've got some ties, little Velcro. I'm not worried about the Velcro, I don't really use it. So we're just going to go over that. Make sure to get underneath there. That's where some rain could get in. Okay. Just get full coverage on that seam. Where it comes to a Velcro tie out, just get the other side too. There you go. To get some paint thinner, you can clean that right off your hands. Not a big deal. Here's another tie out. Okay. So go right through the middle, underneath. Okay. More Velcro. Just do it apart, like so. Get right in the middle, underneath. Okay. Finish it off. Okay. Here's another seam. Okay. Full coverage. That's what we're concerned with. And just work yourself around the tent, getting those seams There's another tie out underneath, both sides. Okay, continue on. Another Velcro tie out, undo it, get it tight. There's a piece of thread that came loose right there. So just get the middle of those Velcro tie outs and side to side. If that's going to start leaking, that's why you want this rubberized paint on there. Okay? Get the seams. Full coverage. All the way down. Another tie out. Flip it down. Get the inside. Outside's already done. More Velcro. Just rip it apart. Get the middle. Get the inside. Get the outside. Continue. Okay. Another seam. This is for the back window. Okay. Careful not to paint yourself into a box or corner. Keep going down the seam. Nice and easy. See how easy that goes on? Follow the seam to the back window. Another tie out. Follow the seam. Inside, outside. More Velcro. Rip it apart. Get the middle. Get the outside. Get the inside. Okay. Get the whole seam. Okay. Alright. Right here. Okay. Now as you're going along, you might find a spot that you want to get a little more. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay. Basically just covering these seams, and it's plastic tape or Scotch tape with rubberized spray, and that will waterproof this tent, so you won't get those weak seams. More Velcro. Spread it apart. Inside. Outside. Okay. Another tie. Right here. Go along the bottom, get through the middle. Flip. Outside. Inside. Keep following the seam. More Velcro. Rip it apart. Follow the seam. Get the inside. Flip it. Get the outside. Follow the seam down. Okay. Got another seam. We'll have enough. Now, this corner has got a side seam over here. So, follow the seam. Already got the Velcro here. Here's a Velcro strap. See how easy that is? Tie down, get the middle, the inside, outside. Okay. coming down this way. More Velcro to separate it. Each seam. Middle, inside, outside. Okay. Well, we got one seam left on the main. So right here, another tie, more Velcro. So we're just gonna keep shaking that up. Some of this is already dry. Get those seams. There's a tie. Inside, outside. There's Velcro. Separate it. Middle. Inside, outside. Follow the seam. Okay. All right. Now, it's pretty much done. Here's the doorway. So, let's get doorway's actually not too bad. We could secure it a little bit. Not gonna worry about it too much, but you can spray down, get the inside and the outside of that seam. Same thing over on this side. Right here. Inside, outside. Yeah. As long as you got paint thinner, this will wash right up. No biggie. Okay, so we got most of it. Now I do have some left over. Hey, Mr. Grasshopper. So what I'll do is just kind of go around, do a spot check where I think I need some more. I'll put some more. Beef it up a little. One of the leaks was over here, so come over here. You only get that. I mean, the more seams you get, the better. You're not going to hurt the tent by getting the seams. Okay? Again, this is Flex Seal, so it's not rigid. It is durable, but it'll move with the tent. It'll move with the rain. Okay, outside, inside. Okay, getting a little low. Now, some would say, why don't you do the outside instead? Well, what I'm going to do with the outside, this seals the inside. So this will stop any rain from getting in. With the outside, I've got a can of silicone spray. You can get those at Walmart for like $5, the generic kind. Not too much, and it waterproofs the outside. Just silicone spray. You don't have to spend $10 for 6 ounces of tent silicone, which I've seen people do. Just get the silicone spray at Walmart. It's generic, it's $5. You get something like 14 ounces. You want to get the middle. So we're out. That's pretty much it. And we got all the seams on the inside. So, Flex Seal spray. Got white to match the roof of the tent. So, as you can see, here it is. Got all those seams. This is an 8-man tent. The dimensions on it are pretty big. 16 feet by 9 feet. So 16 feet wide, 9 feet deep, so back to front, and then 72 inches high, 6 feet high. So I can pretty much stand up in the middle of it. One can will secure your tent and waterproof it. Get the seams. And if you have some left over, you can get the base. Okay. For the outside shell, they have here. I'll go get it. One sec. All right. So here it is. It's called Super Tech Silicone Lubricant. 12 ounces. Okay. That's enough to do the outside of the tent. Paying careful attention to the middle and either side of the cabin. So that you got one cabin over here, another one over there. So you're going to get the middle of it, get the cabins, and maybe the foyer. That's more than enough to get that done. That's how you do your outside shell. So that's it from the Reed Homestead. How to make quick waterproofing on your tent. Yes, we're going to be doing some camping. It is camping weather now. So this has been Pat with the Reed Homestead. How to repair your 8-man and waterproof your 8-man cabin tent. Mine is, again, Aspen Grove Slumberjack. You know, I got it for cheap. It was on clearance. I bought it for $50. So for $15, I just waterproofed it. And that's how you don't have to buy a new tent every year. Till the next time, guys, this has been Pat. God bless. Have a great day.